Welcome back to Doodling with Purpose, episode 51. Today we're going to look at some determinatives. And as mentioned in a few videos, determinatives are glyphs that tell you what the word is about. Some of them do have pronunciation, some of them don't. And we'll go more into this next week. For example, the word father here, having the man glyph at the end of father, tells you that this is a word about a person, if you will, as opposed to a word about an animal or a plant. So you can see on the left side, there are two words that are pronounced nefer. And then there's a clothing glyph and a female glyph accompanying them on the right side. It changes the word. So the same letters can be different words depending on what the determinative is at the end of the word. So last week, we looked at some people, because people are used as determinatives all the time when the word is having to do with a person, be it a king or a sister or a man or a husband. So let's review those glyphs, and then we're going to do a couple other very common determinatives this week before doing a deep dive next week. All right, so last week was all about people. We started off with the face, the head, then you do the eye detail, add a little snake and a beard, and that's your head tip. Next, we did the pharaoh with the leg up there, coming up. Then we do the face detail, and then up and around for the crown. And again, you can give him a little snake and a beard to show it's a pharaoh. Now, this is the same glyph for woman. I didn't show you last week doing the bosom detail, which is just coming out a little bit like that. The woman is not always shown with this detail. Sometimes she's shown as a man. It's just the head piece that differentiates. But occasionally you do see the bosom detail. So there it is. All right, and now we have the sitting man going up with the head. We have the face detail, and then the hands can be in any number of positions. All right, so those are just your first stab at people. Today, we are going to do the standing man. So as opposed to yesterday, we had sitting pharaoh or god, sitting woman, and sitting man. This time, we are talking about man in a standing position. And once again, like the arms of the sitting man, the standing man can have his arms in many, many different positions, and that is also a reflection of what the word is. So this man, for example, who's doing a little jig, this would be a glyph used to determine the word for dance. Or this man who's bending over would be a glyph used as a determinative for old or elderly. And once you know the basic of how to do these people, you can add all sorts of different details to make them different gods or different roles, more detailed heads like doing Anubis, holding a staff, giving him things like the Ankh or the necklace detail. But we're just going to do the basic concept. All right, so it starts off with an L, then you go up and curve in. Do diagonal up and up, in and in, around for the head, do the face detail, and now the arms and the legs can be in hundreds of different positions, determining basically what that glyph is. So start with an L, diagonal up, connect with the diagonal, two diagonals up and in, head, face detail, arm, I'll make this guy doing a little dance here, and legs. So once again, L, and the bottom part of the L is a little longer. So then you connect, do diagonal up, let's see, we'll do this one as like an old man, so you can see how I just changed it very slightly. We'll give him something to lean on, and there you go, there you have an elderly man. All right, so let's do a couple major determinatives. The first one being the sun. Obviously, the sun is a huge part of Egypt. It was a symbol for the god Ra. It was a symbol for life and death because they saw the sun coming up every day and setting, and that symbolized the end and the beginning. And that was really the basis for Egyptian religion, was the idea of an afterlife, because the sun always had an afterlife. It came back every day. And the determinative glyph for the sun is pretty easy. It's a circle with a dot inside. That's why we're going to do a couple determinatives, because these are very easy to draw. And you can also see it as a full circle. So you see it there in that cartouche in the middle, or even down below next to the duck for the word sun, meaning child, son. It's also pronounced HARU. So the sun glyph can also mean day and can be pronounced HARU. All right, so pretty easy. Circle, dot, circle, dot, dot. All right, the next determinative we're going to do is an X, because X always marks the spot, right? That's when you see an X on a map, especially in Indiana Jones, right? That's always what X means. Actually, that is what it means. That's where it comes from. So X in hieroglyphics means a place, a town, a spot, an area. And that's actually why today we use an X to mark spots or mark things you should look at. It comes from the ancient Egyptian symbol for town, which is a circle with an X. There you go, circle with an X. X marks a spot. This means city, town, or place. All right, the next determinative we're going to do is the Papyrus Roll, meaning like this, not like a stone. Papyrus could be written on many things. So you'll see it here in the middle of this word as a horizontal. It's that box with a W on top, but it can also be done vertical. So I'm going to draw the vertical here. It's a box with a W. A long box with a W. A long box with a W. And that is the Papyrus Roll, which is the determinative for a thing. All right, the last one we're going to do today is the legs. Again, very easy to do. It's 2 legs with 2 feet in a basic walking or running position. And this is the determinative that basically means motion, means going. So walking backwards, going on a journey, sending something, coming somewhere, and so it shows up a lot. And it's pretty easy. It's 2 diagonal lines with feet. There you go. And that is the glyph for movement. All right, next week we are going to then deep dive into how the language is broken up. Now that we know so many glyphs and we can spell words and we know basic determinatives, we're going to look at how words are constructed, how to start reading hieroglyphics as full words and sentences, and start to understand the structure of the language. It's going to be exciting because we'll be a year into this next week. I hope you like this video, and if you do, please do give it a like and a subscription. It tells YouTube to share this with more people, and that's what this is all about, sharing, learning, fun. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week for more doodling with purpose.